I call the Honourable Pisita Sam Lotu-liga.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for the opportunity to take this call in this financial reviews debate. Sir, I am tonight just going to touch on the health portfolio, of which I am the Associate Minister of Health. Sir, in the 2013-14 year, this government spent $14.9 billion on health. Sir, that is the most that at any other time in our history. More than when David Cunliffe was the Health Minister, more than when Annette King was the Health Minister, but it's not just about spending money. It's not about spending money, because that side of the House think that it's about just spending more and more taxpayers' money on government services. No, this is about results of patients. It's about quality spending. It's about the well-being of New Zealanders in order to live a better quality of life. And I'm going to get to that, Ms. Curran, I will get to it. And it's about some of the promises that we made when we became government in 2008. What did we say? What did we say, Minister Bridges? You remember we said more frontline police. We said more nurses on the front line. We said more doctors. We said more frontline services, and that's what we did. So in health, in 2014, we know that there were 1,000 fewer managers than when we took over the Treasury benches. We know that there were over 1,000 more doctors. And we also know that there were 3,000 extra nurses when we took over. You see, it's also about meeting health targets. It's about outcomes. It's not about activity, it's about outcomes. And in terms of immunisation, in the 2014 financial year, the target for 8-month-year-old children, the target was 90%. 90% for immunisation. And what did we achieve during that financial year? 92%. We met the targets. We met on our promises that we made to the people of New Zealand. We achieved those targets. And the Honourable Tony Ryle also set a target of an increase in elective surgeries of $4,000 patients per annum. 4,000 patients per annum. And what did we achieve in 2014? I'll tell you, Mr. Nuttall, it's 7,300 in terms of extra elective surgeries in 2014. And what else is it about? It's about bringing our services closer to home. Services closer to home. So when I was at County's Manukau District Health Board last week, and I encouraged members across the aisle to go and visit the clinics, go and visit the health boards. When I was there, they had a quit bus. And the quit bus is about taking services on smoking cessation out to our communities, where they live, where they congregate, where they work. And that's what this government stands for, services closer to home. Sir, it's also about strengthening our health workforce. And as the Minister of Pacific Peoples, I'm proud of the fact that we have implemented a scholarship scheme, the Aniva Scholarships, over $1 million in order to promote Pacific people into the health workforce so that they can meaningfully contribute to health services in this country. And I'm proud of that, and I know the National Party are proud of that. So in terms of Pacific Health, and Ms King is here, and she asked about what we were doing for Pacific and Māori health. Well, in terms of rheumatic fever, and we know that rheumatic fever has been a problem over the years, and it largely affects Māori and Pacific, and we've invested $65 million over 6 years to combat rheumatic fever. And guess how much money Ms King put in as the Health Minister on this particular issue? Guess how much? A big fat donut. A big fat donut. She made no spending in this area. And guess what happened? Here are the outcomes. Here are the results. Here are the results. In 2013, there were 194 cases of rheumatic fever. And 1 year later, after applying resources, there were 153 cases that were reported. So that's a drop of 25%. That is what a government that's committed to health services, quality health services, can achieve. Sir, it's also about the work of cross agencies, and Mr Twyford was there talking about housing. Well, guess what? This government has insulated 300,000 housing and spent $2 billion on accommodation support, and that's what makes a difference. So I say to those Labor members, stand up and stand on your record. Stand on your record, because this government has done more for Pacific, more for people in the health services than any other government in history.
I call Kevin Haig.